reporting live from the liquor store. How's everybody doing this fine Tuesday evening? No, wherever it is around the world, right? Like it's 6:37 where I'm at, so I guess it's evening where y'all at. But anyway, man, we've been seeing the Dallas Cowboys making numerous moves today. They've signed multiple players. I have a, you know, varying array of feelings about the signings. I love some of them. Some of them I'm a little more nonchalant about. But we're gonna talk about all of it though, man. We're gonna just, go over these signings. Talk about how they impact the roster, and we're just gonna get into the meat and potatoes of it. But before Swain said, "Let me get a feel. What's up with you, man? Hey, liquor store always open, man. Just cash in hand, and I got it on demand. So tap in with me, brother. Yeah, hey, you ain't gotta have none, man. This the bootleg. Regina Green, I see you. What's up with you? Swain, I see you. So, hey, everybody coming in and tapping in with me. Before we get started, please hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. If you have not already joined the channel, we're trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers. Right now, we're at 624. Once we get to 1,000, we'll be monetized, and I'll be able to invest back into the page. Also, we are going to the draft. I'm still, accepting donations to help us go to the draft. If you want to send anything, the Cash App is in the chat box. It's $Hennythemoor. I just pinned it to the top. But yeah, man, so let's please continue to like, share, and support. The more that y'all come on here, interact with me, the more you donate, the more shows I will do. So I appreciate y'all for the love, the support, and let's get right into it though, man. So let's start with the one I'm most excited about. Tell me, Matoy, what's up with you, man? He said, I need some non-gas station liquor, and I don't even drink. Big facts, man. Matt Bann, what's up with you, man? I see you, my brother. What's good with you? So the one that I'm actually most excited about is the re-signing of Dante Fowler. The Dallas Cowboys were able to get a deal done. They were able to keep him, on the defensive line, and I do think that is a very valuable signing. And listen, I actually expected Dante Fowler to play his way out of Dallas. Right, he played very limited snaps for us, but he was still one of our more productive pass rushers. He was third on our entire team in sacks. He had 6 of them. That's only behind Micah Parsons and Armstrong. Those were the 2 guys that had more sacks. But he firmly, planted himself as our third best pass rusher, and he only played like 30% of the defensive snaps last year. So he is a very key signing to me. I did not expect to actually keep him. I thought because of the way that he played last season that he played his way out of Dallas. Michael Lockhart, what's up with you? C. Burleson, I see y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Yeah, I actually thought he played his way out of Dallas just with how well that he did play in those limited amount of times. So and listen, especially with the aging of DeMarcus Lawrence, right? He's not a double-digit sack guy anymore, but he is a great all-around defensive line player. He's great against the run, but you need a little bit more extra oomph, when it comes to sacking the passer. And Dante Fowler, provides that. He's very athletic. He has been, and listen, if we're just being honest, right? In my opinion, like with the way that he played, he probably should get more snaps than Dorrance Armstrong. I know Armstrong is slightly younger, but if you just look at how they grade out against the run, right? Neither one of them are next level run defenders. They are around the same size. And I think Dante Fowler gives you a little bit more as a pure pass rusher. We've seen the highs in his career with him having double-digit sacks back when he first entered the league. And, he'll be rushing on the opposite side of Micah Parsons. So, he'll have another elite level pass rusher opposite of him. So I think he should get way more snaps than Dorrance Armstrong. Nothing against him, but I'm gonna give you the numbers, right? Because I don't ever want y'all to think that I'm just giving my opinion to be giving my opinion. Let's look at the actual percentage breakdowns, right? So as a pass rusher, he graded out last year as a 77. He ended up with 18 solo tackles, 3 assists. He had 2 forced fumbles, 6 sacks, as I already mentioned, and he only played very limited snaps. He only had 227 pass rushing snaps last year. All right, and let's compare that to Dorrance Armstrong. Now, Dorrance Armstrong did have 3 more sacks. He ended up with 9 sacks, but he also played 100 more defensive snaps than he did as a pass rusher. He had 325 pass rushing attempts last year, and he only graded out as a 62.3 as an actual pass rusher with only 1 forced fumble, only 19 solo tackles, and only 4 assists. So despite the fact that Dante Fowler played, over 100 less snaps than he did, he was damn near as productive as Dorrance Armstrong, right, when it comes down to it. Graded as a better pass rusher. And listen, both are very subpar as run defenders, right? That's not the strong part of their games. But when you actually go out there and look at it, like, he is one of the better pass rushers you have on your team, and you were able to keep him. Even if it's only a 1-year deal, right? You're keeping some consistency along that defensive line. You're keeping a great pass rusher. You're keeping a guy with veteran experience. Jamison Taylor, what's up with you, man? I'm so glad that you stopped by, my guy. I see y'all in the liquor store with me, man. Salute to y'all. I definitely want them to sign Hankins too, Michael Lockhart. That'll be the next best thing to do. So let's take a look and see what the actual contract that Dante Fowler got is. Let's see the numbers, the breakdown, so on and so forth. It looks like it was a 1-year deal for $3 million, if I'm not mistaken. Now let's take a look. No, it hasn't updated. That was his contract last year. Let me go to Twitter and see if I can find the details. Crazy thing about Twitter, it always have the contract details and everything else before the actual websites too. Like Over the Cap, all those other sites, like Twitter be having the little breakdowns for everything. That's just crazy to me. So let's see. I'm seeing it's a 1-year deal. 1-year deal. I'm trying to find some numbers. I haven't actually seen a numerical digit to it. Put it in the chat box if y'all know how much he signed for. If y'all know how much he actually signed for, put it in the chat box. I'm having issues finding it right now. Hey, happy belated birthday to you, Jamison Taylor. God bless you. Hey, what's up with your West Coast? I see you, kinfolk. I appreciate you stopping by, my boy. So I'm a big fan of the Dante Fowler signing. Like I said, I think he offers more as an athlete than Dorrance Armstrong. He has more experience than he does, and pretty much in 100 less snaps, he gave you damn near the same production. He had 3 less sacks, but he had 1 more forced fumble, had almost the same amount of tackles. And again, like Dorrance Armstrong had 100 more opportunities to get those 3 sacks. So, there's no telling how many sacks that Dante Fowler would have ended up with if he actually had the same opportunities as Dorrance Armstrong. So I love the signing. So, I've been grading each individual move by the Dallas Cowboys over the offseason. For me, this is definitely an A+ signing. Right? Made sense to retain this player. Doesn't appear like they gave him a monster deal to do so. And when you're able to get good talent, good productive talent for next to little or nothing, then I rock with it. So I like it. Another move that they made. Hey, everybody, I see my wife Sierra tapping in with me. Hey, everybody, please wish her a happy anniversary. We're celebrating our marriage anniversary. We've been together for like 100 years at this point. So everybody, please show her some love in the chat. I see you, baby. Happy anniversary. I love you. But yeah. But on to the next signing. And this is one that I feel is more for depth purposes. Right? So you saw that we ended up signing the offensive lineman from the Jets. And I'm finna get his stuff pulled up. Get his name. I'm trying to pronounce his name right. So let's see. Chuma Edoga. Okay, there it goes. Chuma Edoga. I pronounced it right. And I'm fine with this move too. Now, he was not the best lineman in the world, but I'm going to tell you why it's a very fascinating depth signing. And listen, he's listed as a guard, but this is a player who has played more snaps at left and right tackle than he has ever played at the guard position. Last year was the most he ever played guard. He played 55 snaps there. Right? For his career, this is the career breakdown for the snaps that he's taken as a player. For his career, he's taken 316 snaps at left tackle. He's taken 55 snaps at left guard, all of which came last year with the Atlanta Falcons. And he also took 438 snaps at right tackle over the course of his career. So he's played the tackle positions, way more. I can't even put a numerical value to it. Like, he's played the tackle positions way more than he ever played guard. So I think that the Dallas Cowboys might view him as a swing tackle. They might view him as a rotational piece along the interior line. But I like it, especially because he has the physical attributes, but he is a guy who's been up and down, has some injury issues. But it's only a 1-year deal. It's pretty much a reclamation project, right? And we do know the injury history of one Tyron Smith. So what did I say when we it was reported they wanted to rework Tyron Smith's deal and bring him back? I'm okay with bringing Tyron Smith back because when he's healthy and out there, he's one of the better linemen in the National Football League. But he has been hurt. He has not played a full season in a little bit. So what you do is you bring in offensive lineman depth. You bring in a swing tackle, and preferably a swing tackle, because if Tyron Smith goes down, I don't want you moving Tyler Smith to left tackle and then bringing up a backup guard, because if you do that, then that's two positions that are starting backups, right? Not saying that Tyler Smith is not, a starting caliber, left tackle, but he'll be out of position after playing that left guard for a majority of the year, and then his backup guard behind him, right, is probably not that good or not that versed. I think right now by default is Matt Forniak. So I like the signing just because it gives us depth. It's a low risk, high reward signing, right? You bring in a guy who's played a lot of football, who was a former third round pick, right? You get him in here, hopefully with the medical staff that we have, they can keep him healthy. Hopefully, we can coach him up, get some production from him. But I'll give it a C. Depth signings, guys, who are probably not going to be starters. I can't really, just praise them for that. But they're doing the right thing. They're building depth. They're getting guys who are serviceable in here. They have some high upside. So let me just go off and actually break down the numbers for you, right? Because we're talking about the board. I don't think I even went into further depth about it yet. Hold up. Front office said, Henny, what's up? Like your style. The big guys are going to be calling soon. Don't start acting funny. Contribution coming your way for the trip. Keep working. God bless. Hey, front office. You know I'm gonna keep jumping on here and showing love to y'all, man. You know I always gotta support, man. And I appreciate y'all for coming in and rocking with me. Yeah, you know I always gotta come in and give y'all some content every day, man. Y'all keep me going. Tupacalypse, what's up with you, man? So yeah, so for Chuma Edoga, let's jump into the numbers, man. Let's jump into the numbers behind him. And this is the thing. Last year, he only played those 55 snaps. He only played 55 snaps last year. In those limited snaps, he played good though. 55 snaps, 1 penalty, no sacks allowed. Graded out overall as a 77.8. Pass blocking was very shaky. He only graded out as a 62.5. But you know the hat that I wear, right? You see this run the damn ball hat that I got from a big cousin. Run blocking, 84.9. He was one of the better run blockers. And listen, it was a very small sample size, but he was a real good run blocker last year in those 55 snaps. So I like that about him. And if you're just looking over the course of his career, his worst season was a rookie, but you know, he graded out as a 49.5 overall. But what I am seeing here, you know, you could say is incremental growth. He played a lot of snaps as a rookie. Only graded out as a 49.5 overall. 2020 played a little less, but he graded out better, 61.3. Right, the year after that, graded out as 57.7. This year, like you know, graded out as 77.8. So you can see a trajectory of improvement in his play overall. You can see trajectory of his improvement. You also can see how he has improved as a pass blocker slowly but surely. Came to the league, ranked as a 53.8. Dipped a little bit the next year as a 45. Year after that, jumped up to a 55. Year after that, jumped up to a 62.5. So this is a guy, you know, I think he still needs some time, but you know, you give him some snaps, you're able to put him in a offensive line room that has 2 future Hall of Famers in Tyron Smith, in Zach Martin. So, you know, I think that it'll be a good thing for him too going forward for his development, even if he doesn't re-sign with the Dallas Cowboys. So, very solid signing by the Dallas Cowboys. Like I said, I give it a C just because it's only a depth signing. I don't see him beating out anybody to start. But, you know, I definitely can see him working as a swing tackle or a backup guard. Chill Bill, what's up with you, man? I appreciate you for the love, man. Appreciate you for the love and the support. Remember, Terrence Steele was once Terrence Aluminum. Yeah, coaching matters. You're right about that, Marcus. Coaches definitely matters. And listen, hopefully the new offensive line coach is somebody that can help mold this guy. All right, because we still got some young offensive linemen ourselves. Like, there's still a step in development for Tyler Biadasz to make. So, you know, hopefully this new offensive line coach can get with these guys, get in the room with them, help elevate them. So, you know, this offensive line has not been a strength for several seasons at this point, especially not in pass blocking. Yep, we can get some more money out if we are able to extend Dak Prescott. We can get a little bit more money if we decide to go ahead and cut Jordan Lewis. We save about $4.7 million doing that. You know, it doesn't appear like he'll be a starter right now. But listen, leaving Jordan Lewis on the team does give you depth, just in case anything does happen to the run plan. So, you know, if anything happens to him, he gets dinged or he's not able to go or he has an injury like Anthony Brown did or Jordan Lewis did, then you have depth behind him. So, you know, there is, you know, a scenario where the Dallas Cowboys value Jordan Lewis and his play in the past to let him stay on the roster. So, you know, I see merit in that too. But, you know, as it stands, he's not the guy that's going to be starting. If you draft another corner that could possibly beat him out, you know, he might be out of here. But, you know, you definitely have other ways that you can save money. Right, yeah, they probably ain't even posted the details yet. So that's the second signing that they did. Here is one, that I have questions about, and I'm going to sound like a hypocrite because I'm one of the people that said the Dallas Cowboys should sign a veteran running back. I just don't completely agree with them signing this veteran running back, and that is Ronald Jones. So let's take a look at his production. Let's take a look at his production. Because last year he did nothing. He only had 17 carries last year for 70 yards and a touchdown. Right? So not much production there. The year before, though, in limited, he only started 3 games, only got 101 carries. He did have 428 yards and 4 touchdowns with a long of 30. And in 2020, he did have a long of 98. He broke a 98 yard run. Had 192 carries for 978 yards and 7 touchdowns. So that was in 2020. So while he did have a great 2020, his production and attempts have fallen the last 2 seasons. I'm not sure why. Let me check something. Let's see if he has a fumbling issue or anything like that. Let's check for fumbles. So, that's usually a telltale sign of why players, especially running backs, this is usually a telltale sign why running backs lose touches. So let's check out to see what his fumbles looking like. No, when I'm not looking for stats, here we go. This look like he had a bunch of fumbles. This look like he had a bunch of fumbles. 2020, he had 2 of them. (2021) he had 2 of them. Last year, he didn't have any, but he only had 17 carries. So he didn't really have a fumbling problem. So I'm not really sure why, they weren't giving him more snaps down the line. But yeah, man, like he's a veteran. He has experience. He's been a part of 2 Super Bowl teams, even though he was not a huge contributor for either one. He only had 35 carries with Tampa through 3 postseason games in 2020, accounted for 139 yards, no touchdowns. Kansas City, he only had 1 rushing attempt for 0 yards through the entire 2022 postseason. So while he's been a part of these teams, he was not contributing in the postseason. But, he's a depth signing. You signed him to give you opportunity not to rush Tony Pollard back just in case he's not, 100% just yet. So I guess there's merits to it. But, I would have preferred getting somebody like Kareem Hunt who has showed the ability. I think these jokers low-key are trying to go running back by committee. And this is the thing, right? Because I might well segue to the other signing. They also re-signed our own running back, Enrico Dow. We also know the Dallas Cowboys will probably draft a running back. So this is honestly what I think the Dallas Cowboys will do just because of how things are lining out. Tony Pollard, when healthy, they're paying him $10 million. I'm pretty sure he'll be the lead back. Now, he may not, get 300 carries like Zeke did back in 2016 or when he was in his prime. But I definitely can see him getting the 230 carries that Zeke had last year, right? I definitely can see his workload increasing to like 230, which was the amount of carries that Zeke had last year. I can definitely see him step into that role. And then they'll probably will go out there, draft a running back, have an open competition to see who gets, to be running back 2. And the 120, 30, 40 carries that they would have probably given Tony Pollard if Zeke was still here will go to that back or a combination of backs. So it's a possibility that they will do running back by committee. I think it's still will probably be an open competition. Because I think there's running backs in the draft that they end up on the Dallas Cowboys can beat all these guys out outside of Tony Pollard. I think there's running backs in the draft that we can land that are better than Jones, Ronald Jones. I think there's running backs in the draft that are better than Malik Davis. I think there's a couple of running backs in the draft that are better than Rico Dow. So it just depends if we end up with one of them. I'm very high on Spears from Tulane. We did the show with Mr. Castillas early in the day. I asked about Eric Gray. I'm very high on him as a running back prospect. He had over 1,300 yards rushing for the Oklahoma Sooners this season. Ran a 4.4 at the combine. Complete back, honestly. Just had very limited time to start. So I like some of these prospects coming out of the draft. Even if we can't get Bijan Robinson or a Gibbs or somebody like that, there are plenty of running backs that I will not mind the Dallas Cowboys adding, that can come in here and compete for snaps immediately. So I think to an extent they will do a running back by committee. But I think that it's already pretty much shored up where Tony Pollard's picking order is. I'm pretty sure if them paying him $10 million guaranteed, they're gonna want to get their money. They want to get their money worth out of him. So I think he'll get about 230 carries like Zeke did the prior years. And we're going to rock out like that probably. Yeah, he said, the Muhammad boy from UCLA. Zach from UCLA is good. Muhammad from Minnesota. Yeah, like there's several guys out there that would be good prospects. Dwayne Brown, what's up with you, brother? I appreciate you tapping in with me. So yeah, Gray would be a great fit. Like Starter Kid Duke said, 4th or 5th round pick. And this is a guy who was a 1,300 yard runner in college just this year. Had 11 rushing touchdowns, ran a 4.4. Lost in translation said Gibbs a buzz. Hey, I wouldn't mind having Gibbs. JC Cowboys Network, what's up with you, man? I appreciate you tapping in with me, brother. Thanks for the love and the support, man. I would be disappointed if we didn't draft a running back in this draft. Listen, it makes too much sense. It makes all the sense in the world to go ahead and draft a running back in this year's draft, man. Because when you actually go out and look at the positions that are deep in this year's draft, not really the wide receivers. Like there are a couple of them, but it's not like a super deep wide receiver draft. It's not really a super deep safety draft. Really not a super deep quarterback draft, for being honest. But there are several running backs. Like this is a very deep running back draft. Gibbs for me as well. Yeah, listen, if we are able to get him, because he's a guy that's a borderline 1st round pick, depending on who you ask. So BPA, if he's there at number 26, I would definitely pick up Gibbs, just because of scheme fit, his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, the 4.3 speed that you compare with Tony Pollard's 4.3 speed. Now you got one of the faster backfields in the National Football League just by pairing them together. So I love the dynamic that he actually brings to the running back room when you're able to get him and ascertain his talents. However, I don't know how high the Dallas Cowboys are willing to draft a running back after Ezekiel Elliott. Not saying that he wouldn't be worth a 1st round pick. I definitely think BPA, if he's there, I definitely would take him. Right. So it's gonna come down to the front office, their mindset, how they are valuing the running back position going forward. Right. Because listen, the guy that they got right now, who is probably gonna be your starting running back, is a 4th round pick. Tony Pollard was a 4th round pick. And with the way that the National Football League is devaluing the running back position, I would be surprised if a running back outside of Bijan Robinson went in the 1st round. Like even as good as Gibbs is, I think Gibbs is going to fall to the 2nd round just on principle. And listen, there's also a good possibility that Chris Johnson crazy. He said we should draft a kicker at 26. We need a kicker. We definitely need a kicker. And listen, at 26, there's still a good possibility that one of these wide receivers could fall to us. Like even with the acquisition, of I don't see Bijan getting past the Eagles either. Bijan is definitely going to be the outlier. Like he's going to go like top 10. And listen, it might surprise you. Like the Chicago Bears might draft him. Like they got their quarterback of the future. They got two good wide receivers right now. No, they might actually go line though. Well, there's a bunch of teams, that could use Bijan Robinson's. They could use a Bijan Robinson. I like Tank too. He played in the SEC, so he played against my Arkansas Razorbacks. So I'm very I'm very familiar with him and his ability. 26 is damn near picking in the second round, especially with there only being 31 first round picks now. So it sort of devalues the later round picks, because the pick number 32 is usually a first round pick, right? The team that's going to pick 32nd overall is going to be picking at the top of the second now. So I understand what y'all saying. I definitely understand where y'all coming from with that. But yeah, if he's there, take him. It can't hurt anything, and he can double as a receiver too. So like he brings a very he brings a very varied offensive attack. Definitely fits the West Coast system that we'll be running. So if he's available, get him. But I just hope the Dallas Cowboys value him the way that we value him. That's how I should put that. You've been working hard, huh, Dwayne? I appreciate you. We'll take the time out your busy schedule to tap in with me. So let's see. Another roster move the Dallas Cowboys made that we have not talked about in depth on here yet. It's not actually a signing, but it's numbers. It's numbers. They did something that I didn't expect them to do. They restructured Brandon Cook's deal and cleared more salary cap space. Right, so they touched his money. So there's still a possibility that something else could come. But because they restructured him, they saved quite a bit of money. Word for word, Todd Archer broke down the restructure. He said that the Cowboys restructured Brandon Cook's contract, turning $8 million of his $12 million base salary into a signing bonus. His salary is now $4 million. He will only count $6 million against the cap. He is still making $18 million guaranteed, with Houston paying the $6 million. So basically, we cleared up a nice little chunk of cap space just by doing that, right? Guaranteed money, long he gets it, because it's of course guaranteed, as the name implies. It doesn't matter how you give it to him. You can give it to him as a salary, or you give it to him as a signing bonus. As we all know, signing bonuses do not affect the overall cap. So, they did a very smart financial move in finagling the books. Is it Pollard and Gibbs like Dolan Richardson in Arkansas, 40 minutes in here? What you know about that, man? What you know about the Arkansas teams back in the gap when they were winning when they won the NCAA title? This is a solid roster. Big Mike got to work with, and we're not done. I think we at least going to the NFC Championship this year. I definitely could see an NFC Championship visit. Right. Hey, good night, Jameson Taylor. You have a blessed one, brother. Thank you for stopping by. Much love. He said Jack Campbell. I remember him. Siaki from Baylor. I like Siaki too. Like he's a very nasty run stopper. I like him as a prospect. But we definitely do have to shore up this offensive line. I said offensive line. We definitely have to shore up this defensive line so we can stop the run. Like run defense has not been our strong suit for several seasons at this point, so we got to get that under wraps. So anybody that can help, I really hope that they go out and get Monty Smith. I think he's a cannot miss. I think he is a cannot miss prospect in regards to that. He said, JC Cowboy said, I like Siaki a lot, and I'm a huge fan of Cody Mock. I'm about to check into him because I never heard of Cody Mock. Thomas Gear, what's up with you, man? I appreciate you for tapping in with me, brother. DC for life, what's up with you, man? I'm glad you were able to make it, brother. Thank you for the love and support, my guy. I said wide receiver, Dontavian Wicks. I'm gonna take a look at him. That's the beautiful thing about the draft, man. There's a bunch of guys that some folks may not know about, that can make an impact. Because I'm sure there's a lot of people that didn't know about. Hold on, I'm looking at something. I got lost of thought. But yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of guys that didn't know about my boy Matt Landers from Arkansas until he ran at the combine. He was 6'5", ended up running a 4.3. So, they had him projected to go undrafted before that. Now, he might have moved up some people's boards. I'm not saying that he jumped to being a first-round pick or anything like that, but, I definitely do think that, like he made himself some money going to the draft. And that's beautiful, going to the combine. That's the beautiful thing about the draft, man. Like, it usually be all these guys with hype, and then it be these guys from lesser-known schools. They're coming to the league and are productive. So that's one of the things I love the most about the draft. Like everybody gets opportunities. But yeah, man, I just wanted to jump on here and give y'all a quick little show. I'm finna go spend some time with my wife on our anniversary. So God bless y'all for y'all time. I'll be back tomorrow. So anybody that has not already liked and subscribed to the channel, please go and do so. Again, we're going to the draft. If you want to donate, Cash App is up there. But shoot, God bless y'all, man. I'll see y'all later. Peace.